Previously on Homesteady.
There, you can see it's a little bit of pinkness and then some white. Oh, if we're doing this, I can. She's got a little pink. She ain't as bad as I thought. As you can see from the color in her under eyelid there, she looks like she's.
You want to do this while you're videotaping?
Yeah, why not? She looks much better. Just a week of treatment has already helped bring the color back, which means she's losing less blood to worms. As you can see, we just took a fecal of Lacy. We're going to check after the treatment, have another fecal done, and make sure that we're not dealing with worms who have survived the first treatment and keep breeding. When we see a goat who looks like Lacy does, and I'll show you that after we talk in milk, that's where we decide, you know what? Now is time to ratchet things up. We're about to use a dewormer, which has over a week withholding period. We're gonna lose milk. So we're okay with taking a week of our milk supply and cutting it in half because we gotta treat Lacy. Safeguard, I think we're using Safeguard on her this time around. Our vet suggested a 5-day treatment of Safeguard. It is the next morning and we are going to do a second dose with Lacy. She's still in confinement, she hasn't been let out yet, and we're not going to be letting her out into the pasture yet. We've had a strange development the last day here with our goats. Back when they first freshened, we treated both Lacy and Gizmo for worms. We've tried lots of different techniques and we're losing this war. Is this, I mean, you've seen, you know, from our records there, we've done 2 doses now. Is it pretty common to see like this problem just continue like this?
Yeah, we have had that.
So we booked an appointment. Unfortunately, we can't get her out till next week. That was the first available appointment. So we're just gonna keep up with caring for Lacy. By next week, you know, the vet will be here to let us know what, you know, what she thinks, if there's something we're missing or something we could do better. So. We're gonna attempt the baby carry today. I don't think he's gonna like it. That's good. Save him? Yeah. Pop the heads off? That's probably not good. I'm not gonna hit you, bud. You pull it now? I'm not gonna hit you, bud. You pull it. Oh yeah. That's the reason that's for the head. Life was pretty good too, I think.
Last 2 plants I've grown is the cherry tomato, and if you can see down here, it's a jalapeno plant.
Nice, they are.
I grew mostly tomatoes. I had jalapenos. I had lots of stuff in my bed, and it all turned out how I wanted it to. I eat it.
Wrap up! Get out of there!
Still getting some produce out of the raised beds. It is obviously slowed. That's kind of like the last bit of the season. We got some tomatoes still. Found a cuke this morning. Little bit left. We shut them down for the year.
Hey, Bubba, can you do these? Do those too. Yeah. Come here, hon. Ready?
Yep.
See, I already know. Don't open any doors. Still alive.
How's she look?
Lay down.
You looking at something?
No, I was waiting for him to show
Oh. You could just close the cows out for cleaning this morning.
Good girl.
Like that.
Now throw some hay at them. This is my show today.
Well, lit that well, it better be, goodness.
Today, kind of a, I don't know, what would you call this? Update on Lacy. We're gonna kind of throw everything we got at her, take the advice of lots of commenters, give her some B complex. What else are we gonna do? Get something to kind of build up her blood, so like iron supplementation. And the vet's coming today. We actually ended up calling another vet to see if they could come sooner. It's one we dealt with the disbudding for the baby goats. And he called and Austin said, well, when's the soonest you could come out? He said, oh, today. So we said, yes, come out. It's nice because we wanted to get the vet here anyways, because with Luna, the first time she's gonna calve, I wanna have a vet who I know comes here and knows our farm, knows our animals. In case there's an emergency, we can give them a call, they can come right out. Let's go.
Something I wanted to remind the audience about, we really appreciate, there's been so many just loving comments going through this issue with our goats, with Gizmo's death, and now dealing with Lacy's sickness. Lots of support. Most of you have watched us over the last year, going through deworming routines, doing fecals, and many of you know how much we care about the health of our goats and how serious we take this, and we just appreciate all the support and all the comments. There has been lots of good advice to things we haven't tried, and some of you might be wondering, why haven't you done it yet? So just the way our production works, I wanted to remind you, we film a video here, let's say this is, we'll just call this Monday. By the time that video gets edited and released on YouTube, it could be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it could be the following Monday. Then the comments start to pour in. Then we film another video where we take some of the advice in the comments and do some new things. And then like a week or two later, you'll get to see. So it's a long tail of, you know, hey Austin K, try this, till you'll see us actually do it in a video. We don't film a video and release it that day or the next day. So some of you have suggested things like a vitamin B shot, doing an iron supplement, doing a drench that will help fight anemia, trying Corid, trying Quest. This is all great advice. We've learned a lot from your comments. We thank you so much for sharing that. We're going to be getting some of these things, talking to our vet today, and just like, we really appreciate the comments. We're not ignoring you. It's just, it takes a while to produce the video, release it, get the advice, put it into practice, edit that video, and release that video. So, in addition to all the good advice we've been getting in the comments, prior to that advice coming in, before we even released the video, trying to keep the baby asleep here, we have been talking with our mentors, phone calls with the one vet. Now we have this other vet that's willing to come out sooner. So we're not standing around twiddling our thumbs, hoping Lacy lives. We're actively managing the situation. And as we continue to produce the videos, you'll see and be updated on all the things that we're doing. Thank you so much for the support. Stuff like this happens
We've seen in the comments so many people are dealing with dewormer resistance. So many people have dealt with quick losses and deaths. There are ways to fight this, and there are definitely people out there who are better and more knowledgeable at dealing with worms than we are. And some of you have been commenting and giving us tips, and we really appreciate it. Probably won't need any help, will you? Baby's waking up. This worked good.
Yeah, it got us a lot of time. I left my thermometer inside.
Wow. Not a big deal, but
Is it bad?
No, it doesn't.
but right now with Lacy, every little bit counts. Take a long time to heat it up, or?
We've been going through all the advice that's been shared with us, and we've been pulling out everything in our medicine chest, our vitamin B, our vitamin and mineral drenches, our copper. You know, we gave them copper, plenamine. See what helps. Find a muscle.
Yeah, I know. Place to go. Let's go this way. Okay. All right, that was graceful. Yep, sure. Nice. Sure is easy to...
We really appreciate everybody's advice. And some people mentioned this too in the comments, was we can't listen to everything because when it comes to animals and livestock, so much of it is very localized. Some advice that would work well for a more dry, arid area isn't going to work here because it's much wetter here than it is, say, in some of the southwestern areas. But we do appreciate all the advice.
Another thing that is very localized is dewormers.
Right.
We've noticed in the comments people saying certain areas of the country, certain dewormers no longer are effective. We have been, our one vet has suggested we use Safeguard, but many people have said, oh, where I live, Safeguard is no longer effective, and that's honestly what we've seen so far. We've seen Safeguard not to really be effective either.
Yeah, in my research, it's all these wormers have a large percentage of worms that it's just ineffective with. Even sedectin is, there's 30% resistance to it already, which is why, you know, going forward we've learned a lot, and that'll be a whole new video about what we've learned, our takeaways from this, and our decisions going forward with goats.
Yeah, we're definitely, we have learned a ton about this. We have learned things we've done. We did not do everything right. If we did everything right, we wouldn't be in this position. And we're gonna make a video about like the hard lessons we learned through this, what we did wrong, and you know, hopefully to help people out in the future if they're gonna go down this route. One more resource I did want to mention who's been very helpful, a Wholesome Roots channel on YouTube. Click there to check them out. Rose from Wholesome Roots reached out to us in the comments, gave us a lot of really good advice. I really appreciated how balanced her approach is to deworming. She loves using the herbal dewormers. She likes using more natural methods, but she's not afraid to use the big guns. She understands that there's a time when that's important to use too. And she gave us some good advice on things we can do to kind of holistically approach this deworming issue. So go check out Rose's channel.
That's nice, because that's kind of our approach too, kind of middle of the road, I always say.
We're not against the herbal dewormers. We're not against using, you know, supplementing minerals is important.
Yes,
we have multi-minerals. We've done copper boluses. We like trying to attack the whole picture. So.
We've done copper boluses. We've also done, what was the other copper? The 2 kinds of copper we did to see if it would help. It's an uphill battle right now, that's for sure.
We're trying so much. Yeah, and it's just, unfortunately the reality is, you know, we're trying hard, and that's all we can do.
Can't go back in time. Alright, should we pull out the stand and do her feet?
What? MLs to ounces?
Yeah.
We
Nutri-Drench here.
Oh, okay. Let's do it. Leave it, Pop. Leave it. Go for it.
Yeah, just give her the straight open.
Through this entire battle with these worms and Lacy, there's been ups and downs, and times where I think, oh, she's gonna pull through, and times where I think, oh, maybe she's not. And today's one of those times where I'm thinking maybe not. She's just, the life's not there, and that's a big sign. So I'm really glad we were able to get the vet to come sooner. I don't know what's gonna happen. One of the biggest reasons I want the vet here, because we have a limited experience with these dairy goats, especially with kidding dairy goats, you know, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm reading something wrong, and having the vet here, boots on the ground, able to touch and look and see and say, no, this is confirmed that no, it's still just a worm issue we're dealing with. I think that's gonna be good.
Making her sweet feed.
Oh yeah, with the alfalfa?
No, with the molasses.
Maybe throw some alfalfa in with molasses. That might.
Disguise it?
Maybe, throw a couple things in there. Can't hurt. One of the honest questions I think that we don't want to think about it. We don't want to deal with it, but you kind of have to when you have animals. Is the question of culling and you know, whether or not this animal's suffering and whether or not we need to end that. And when the early, I mean, for the last couple months we've been treating this, and there's been, no, I don't think she was suffering. We were deworming her, and we were treating her, and we were seeing her come back and then go back down and up and down and up and down. But this last run of this worming issue, now she's getting to this point where we've dosed her many times. It could be that she's resistant to the one wormer, and keep hitting me with that door.
Oh, darling.
It's okay. So, you know, now we're getting into this is again another one of the reasons I'm glad the vet's coming is he'll know what stage we're in better than we will. He'll know, no, this animal's not gonna make it, she's suffering, or no, this animal could pull through, try this medicine, try this technique.
Maybe the vet will be able to tell us today.
I think one of the hardest things as a homesteader is you're not quite a farmer. You're not making a business decision here where you're like, well, you know what, I'm breeding this line and this is not profitable, so I can cut this.
Yeah,
and that's not to say it's not hard for farmers too.
No, but especially with our access to medicine, like if we were somewhere way out remotely where we don't have this access to all this medicine, to a vet coming in, I think that decision would be a lot easier. You
right.
say, she's suffering.
Okay. We gotta finish it.
Yeah, we can't have this goat here. But you know, we're within driving distance to medicine, to a vet. So that makes, it kind of blurs the lines up a little bit for us. Yeah, once you name an animal,
yeah,
it's a blurry line between a homestead animal and a pet, but for me it's always quality of life.
Yeah, if she's suffering, if the vet comes here today and he looks at her and he says, no, this animal's definitely suffering, then we're gonna end the suffering. There's no question. That's absolute. If there's hope, that's why we're having a vet come here, because we really want to.
Yeah, sometimes you want a third party.
Who knows more, has more experience,
yeah,
and is gonna be able to answer questions that we have, so we'll just...
Like that molasses
Couple hours. Let's show that too, that's nice.
No, she's not eating. Oh. Yeah, this isn't easy stuff to share. We've made mistakes, even though we were trying to do what we thought was the best thing. Hopefully other people are able to learn from the mistakes that we made, and if others are going through the same thing, to know that, man, it's happened to us too.
Okay, Lacy's up. We got the vet. He's gonna be here in 20 minutes. And we're gonna talk to the vet, have him look at her, see what he thinks is wrong, if there's something different, something we can do different. And we'll have an update for you after the vet visit. So, stay tuned.